Howdy folks, welcome back to Out of Ore and a very poor look at how to run an excavator. I am pretty terrible, but I've got the joysticks hooked up and we're gonna give it a go. And we'll see what kind of damage we can do. I don't have the muscle memory for this, so it's gonna be pretty painful. But it is pretty cool having the twin joysticks set up. I gotta get the muscle memory down. Also get an idea of like where I am in space. That's been a bit of a challenge. Bring that over. Curl up. And I thought we'd even do some of this with no HUD. See how we do. We'll get a truck full anyway. Hope y'all are doing well. I've been pretty busy with work, but had a little bit of time this evening, so getting another video recorded. Had some work to do tonight after work, for work. work. But it didn't take too long, so I got that done. Got my joysticks set up. I did notice I had to reset up all the controls again, even though they were already in the control setup. So I don't know if that's a Linux thing, because I had the joysticks unplugged. I don't know if that's just the way it works. And Out of Ore, I'm not sure, but I did have to rebind all my controls, unfortunately. But I did kind of the basics. I'm not getting a very good full scoop. Let's go arm out. That over there. We might be getting kind of close to a truck full. And I kind of wish I had a camera mount. I would hook up another camera and show the controls, at least for a little bit, because that can be pretty interesting watching people do this. I'm not set up to do that right at the moment. I don't have a camera mount. It's something I've been meaning to do for a while. Just haven't got around to it yet. So let's take a look. If I go to this view, whoa, yeah, we're getting somewhat full. Not too bad. So then we're going to go back to focused cab. So this is in cab, but it keeps you focused on the bucket, which is pretty handy when you're running an excavator. I think we can get a couple more buckets in there. So let's work at that. Then I may have to move the excavator a bit. Some more right up front there. I think another scoop maybe in the back. Whee! May have to change, because there's a little bit of dead zone there. I might want to change that up a little bit if I was going to do this a lot. Kind of almost digging into my tracks here. It's not really a full scoop, but we'll get her in there anyway. There we go. I think that's about a load. Curl that up, and then we should be able to just rest that on the ground. Something like that. And I'm going to pop my HUD back on. And then I don't think I have the joysticks set up to run the truck, so we'll just awkwardly drive the truck with the keyboard. That is a full truckload. Drive into the rope shovel. I don't have much room for my mouse, so I have to kind of go back and forth a bit. These joysticks take up a lot of desk real estate. I don't remember what's in the hopper. It's been a few days since I was on here. do have the plant going, it looks like. So, in theory, all the stuff is out of the hopper. Indeed. Alright, cool. Alright, truck bed back down. Let's get back down in the pit and run some more material. Whee! Now, in reality, I would probably want to back the truck down in here and then pull out, but it's a game. It'll be fine. Alright, let's hop out, and then let's get back in this vehicle. Did I turn off the truck? Did not turn off the truck. There we go. Alright, let's get that up. Yeah, I'm actually going to move the excavator. So I have some keys set up, if I can remember what they are. It's a little awkward because I've got joystick buttons doing this, but I'll make it work. There we go. I wanted to just back off that a little bit. Alright, and then we'll put the brake back on. I got my horn on that button if I need it. Let's get back into free in cab, focused in cab. There we go. Now we can do some more digging. Let's see. Actually, before I get a bucket in here, let's move the truck. I'm kind of off my old position now. So I want to snug in there a little closer. That ought to do. And then, I don't know why, but when I hop back in, it doesn't focus. Yeah, it's like it's in the right mode, but it doesn't actually focus on the bucket. So that's just a little bit of a bug. Alright, where am I in space? There's not much depth perception in games. It's hard to simulate. So I'm actually a little far from that. A little far away probably from where I should be. We can track forward a bit. So parking brake off. Parking brake back on. Kind of like the no HUD thing while we're loading with the excavator. There we go. Now I can go right down that and not pull our material in because reasons. There we go. Got a good scoop that time. Still not quite as close probably as I should be. I love watching people that are really good with these machines. I can see, like, if you had some practice, you could get really good. I just don't have the practice. So I'm pretty terrible. But we're getting the truck loaded. That's the main thing, right? We're moving material. What more can you ask? You could ask to get full buckets and quit wasting time. These joysticks are really nice. They're the Thrustmaster, was it T16000? It's a pair of them, like a left-right pair. It only costs like 30 more bucks to get the pair versus some of the single fancier joysticks. And I wanted the pair for this kind of stuff, and then also probably eventually Star Citizen. Flying spaceships. And they do seem to work pretty darn well. I hadn't really bought a joystick in like 30 years. 20, 30 years maybe. I've got a full CH Products HOTAS setup with pedals as well. And they're decent, they're good gear. But they're getting a little drifty because they're potentiometers and they get dirty. And they're, you know, like 20 years old. So. It's nice to have some of these new precision joysticks with the Hall effect sensors. And they've got a good stiff spring feel to them, which is cool. We pretty much got over there. Let's come over here. There we go. That was a nice big scoop. Look at that. That, I think we're going to be pretty full. We'll find some ground over here somewhere. There we go. Yeah, that's nice and full. Truck fired up. Back off right into the hole. Might be about time to swing around and start hitting that other deposit. Also, I need to get a nice screenshot of the excavator. I'm not sure if I have that. And this is working out pretty well, so I think I will get my joystick set up for the rope shovel as well. We'll do some of that next episode. And then we'll kind of see how things are going. I think Season 5 is kind of wrapping up. There's a lot of other like games and stuff coming out that I'm going to be wanting to try. And I've already met my goals for Season 5, so that was cool. But let me know if there's something you like especially want to see here in Season 5, and I might consider that. Let's see, let's get a little bit closer. I know the rub shovels were a request by a person or two, so we'll definitely do some of that. Alright, back in yield excavator, and of course we have to switch cameras. There we go. Actually, I think I'll use this camera while we're moving. So, I probably want to move forward a bit. And then, parking brake back on. And we're going to dig some of this. Nope, messed that up. I knew what I wanted to do. I couldn't make my brain do it. Yeah, I think we're... Uh-oh. Something wasn't happy. We broke it. Yeah, it didn't quite go into the truck, did it? Whoops. Okay, we're gonna have to redig that. So let me do this. Let me turn the truck around. Honk. Let's do a little Austin Powers 36-point turn here. And then let me see if I can back the truck right in there. It's a little close to the edge. We get right in there and we'll try that. See if I can get it loaded that way. Oh yeah, I gotta switch camera every time. Guess I could just leave it in that mode, and I've got the view thingy set up so I can move the view around. We could do that. Amazing how much material that one bucket dumped out. Oh wow, we're really close to the truck. Woo! Alright, I need to go out. Yeah, like that. So one bucketful made about 6 bucketfuls worth of material on the ground. Just kind of the way the game works. Hey, more material for me. Well, you didn't get much of a bucket there, did you, buddy? There we go. Get yourself a man-sized bucket while you're doing it. Okay, I think we got most of that cleaned up. Yeah, we got most of that cleaned up. Whoa. Back up a little bit. The closer we get to the full over there. We need more towards the back, it looks like. Let's go ahead and do this view again. That does work pretty well. There we go. I think we can get one more scoop in the back. Whoa. Brain fart. Alright, and come up, and then in, and then kind of dump that right there, but it glitched out a bit. That's too bad. That's alright. You got a truck full. That's all that matters. Does it climb out any better going forward? Not really. Got a load on. Should probably turn the plant off. It's spending most of its time idle. Just burning through coal. Oops, sorry, I hit the microphone. Alright, back down in the hole we go. What if we parked over here? It's a little tight. We can make that work, though. We got at least another truckload here, easy. This is just that spilled stuff. Gather some of that by hand. Alright, back in the excavator we go. Tried moving slow, it doesn't seem to really matter. It all just spills out the bucket regardless. Because I'm overloading the bucket, for sure. Hey, you can't tell me I moved too fast this time. I guess if you move super duper duper slow. Nope. Too late. So is it really worth moving that slow? Not in my opinion. You'll make up for that with the next shovelful that you already have by the time you get that one unloaded. Can't quite reach over there, so we'll have to go deep. Almost got too low there. Almost got a little framey there for some reason. That was weird. It's like I got hung up on something. Whoa, sorry, truck. I thought I was going to miss you, but... oh, crap. That depth perception throws me off. I thought I was over the truck. I was not over the truck. Dumped, so this is one shovelful, basically. It's like, that's a lot of material. I'll clean that up real quick. I think technically, like, graphically, I missed the truck. But the collision box is a little bit bigger than the actual visible geometry. That definitely got hung up on the truck. Now we're getting a bunch of aluminum ore here. You can never really clean it up proper. Alright, I think I might track over here and get some of that, and then that'll make another truck full. And we just about got everything we can get at this level. Think going this way? Oh yeah. Not without backing up though. Back up a scooch. Forgot to turn the plant off again. That's alright. We have plenty of coal. Probably got about 2 million sitting in those wash plants right now. Haven't cleaned them out in a while. There we go. We'll dump that in, and then I'll go throw this stuff in there. Sure the bed is all the way down. I think I'll set the excavator right over here. And we'll get some more of that in the truck for another load. And we'll call that a video. Alright, so I'm gonna hop in here. This should be parking brake off, and then I need to drive this thing. Uh-oh. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, right, I'm facing backwards. I totally forgot I was facing backwards. And I drove right off into the hole like a noob. Awesome. So here we are. There's your thumbnail. Whoops. Yeah, I don't think I can get myself out of this. But let's put the boom out as a counterweight. And then I need to go backwards. Yeah, that ain't happening. I kind of just forced myself out of here. Turn the tracks over. Reach way over here and then pivot that. And then drive forward. Problem is I can't drive forward and do the controls at the same time. And that's digging in just because of the way the game works. That's too bad. Well, we're almost out. We were just tearing up the ground. Alright, I admit defeat. I messed up. Give me my excavator back. Really? You can't drive out of there? Are you stuck on, like, for real? There we go. We'll go to fast mode. That'll get it done. That seems slower than that, but it's the same. Alright, back in slow mode. So I want to get basically up here, and then I want the truck over here somewhere, but the goofy game dirt interaction made a complete mess out of this. Maybe we can back the truck in here? Whoa. Yeah, something like that. Perfect. All right, let's get a more reasonable thumbnail in case I don't want to do the goofy thumbnail. There we go. Couple different angles. Beautiful. All right, back to excavating with our excavator. It's gonna be a little tight with the truck right there, but I'm up for the challenge. What's the worst that could happen? I could fall in a hole. We already got that one out of the way. Dump you right there. Went a little bit aggressively deep on that scoop. We came out all right. Seems like the swivel has a lot different hydraulic rate than some of the other movements. Slowly, kind of, sort of getting coordinated. Alright, that is a truck full. That'll work. And we got most of that out of there. A little bit more. Don't fall in the hole. Alright, let's get this dumped, and yeah, I think we'll call that an episode. And next episode, we'll tackle that pay dirt wall with the rope shovel, see what kind of damage we can do there. Is that? Yeah, I don't think that rope shovel's... If it's big enough for... I don't think it's quite big enough for one of the bigger, like, quarry trucks. So we'll probably use this truck. We'll see. I could even have like a hopper down there and then load the truck with the hopper. That's also something you can do. That's pretty cool. So you would just turn the hopper on to load the truck. I did that in Season 4 up on the mountain. Up on the mountain mine. You haven't seen Season 4. We did all kinds of stuff in Season 4. It was kind of an experiment. And good fun. Alright, I'll probably get some more of this between episodes, but next episode we will hit it hard with the old rope shovel. I hope to see you back here for that. Thanks as always for watching. I'll catch you in the next adventure. Take care.